So what's up? What's going on, guys? Welcome to JA News.
It's up.
So today Nike honors the late and great Chris Sponto with the release of the born and raised SB Dunks. And while many sneakerheads will be disappointed at how difficult these are to grab, we also got to take a look at the bigger picture at hand here. And it also looks like Nike, they're making some changes to one of their upcoming releases, as it looks like they try to cover up one of their major problems. And we got the very first YEEZY update post Adidas. There's been many rumors, but we now got some insight from behind the scenes from one of YEEZY's lead designers. So stay tuned, guys. We got all that plus the latest and greatest in sneakers, and it's coming right up next. All right, so to kick things off, as far as today's major sneaker releases goes, from New Balance, we have the 9060 Missing Pieces collection in collaboration with the Whitaker Group, which dropped today via raffle through the Whitaker Group's various sales channels. So you got two great pastel colorways of one of New Balance's most popular new silhouettes. So these joints definitely had people talking, but as far as today's biggest sneaker release goes, it's gotta be these born and raised SB Dunks, which I feel like sneakerheads were already excited about, but then after the untimely passing of born and raised founder Chris Sponto, these joints have just skyrocketed to a whole nother level. So it looks like Nike will be allocating all of the stock to release today via born and raised website. And I'm not even gonna lie, before this, I never had any clue who Chris Sponto was. So by Nike releasing these, they continue to tell his story and his legacy lives on. So by the time you're watching this, these should have already dropped. So if you're one of the people that were lucky enough to grab these, just remember, where this sneaker actually came from. And if you're one of those resellers that just grab these to flip, you ain't shit. But I don't blame you, because everybody else is gonna do it anyways. And as far as upcoming releases goes, we got a first look at the newest colorway for the New Balance 990 V6. So these joints are in collaboration with Carhartt, work in progress, and it wouldn't be right to do a Carhartt collab that didn't feature that iconic Carhartt brown, which is the highlight of this sneaker. So it looks like you got a nice little suede mesh leather finish on these, and it looks like this will be the perfect sneaker for this upcoming fall season. So let me know if you guys are digging these. No exact word on the official release, but I expect these to drop before this year's end. And we got two new colorways for the Asics Gel 1130, which we don't talk about much here on this channel, but I did want to highlight these releases, just because they're bringing a little something new to the table on this retro silhouette, which features this nice thick hairy suede. So I feel like both of these colorways are very wearable, but I'm definitely a fan of this sand pair, and I think I like that little pop of orange on these, which really makes these joints stand out. So currently these have released overseas. No word on if there will be a US release date, but I love the fact that the Asics Gel 1130 retails at just a low price of 110 bucks. So it looks like Nike is making some changes to one of their controversial upcoming releases. So earlier this week, images surfaced of the latest colorway for the Nike Ja 1, featuring his viral slogan, "We ain't ducking no smoke," right on the back of this sneaker. So of course, this had everybody on social media talking, and I even said this is one of the coolest things that Nike has done in recent years. But of course, in typical corporate fashion, it looks like Nike is making some updates to this upcoming sneaker. So they've replaced the phrase on the back and tried to cover it up with this new patch. So of course, I feel like this is a lame move from Nike, but what else do you expect? So it looks like these are still set to drop coming up October 6th. And I wonder if Nike will go ahead and change the name, originally titled "We Ain't Ducking No Smoke." So we'll see how things go when these joints drop, but another missed opportunity from Nike. But of course, then again, what else would you expect? And lastly, we got some great news, as it looks like we got the very first YEEZY update post Adidas, kind of an insight behind the scenes at what they're working on. Now, yesterday I mentioned to you guys the legendary sneaker and YEEZY designer, Steven Smith. He sat down with Kanye's Post for an almost hour-long podcast conversation, revealing some interesting little nuggets that I felt like would be very important to share here with the viewers. So if you guys haven't checked out this podcast, I encourage you to listen to the entire conversation. It's really insightful. Now, in regards to what Ye has been rocking recently, of course, he's been spotted rocking sock shoes, even sometimes being completely barefoot. Many people theorize that Ye is boycotting the footwear industry, that kind of shunned him out. But Steven Smith did clarify that it's more so about minimalism and not really boycotting the industry. And wearing sock shoes is kind of starting from the ground up, as with Yeezy, leaving Adidas. They are now completely venturing out on this journey independently, which means they are starting things from the ground up. And those sock shoes that he's been wearing aren't exactly Yeezy, but they're more of an influence on what they're doing. And sock shoes are about exploration. So I could interpret this a couple of different ways. Maybe Yeezy could be working on some type of sock shoe of their own, or it could be that this sock shoe is just kind of like a prototype and could maybe evolve into something much greater and much more innovative. But we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But it's just really great and assuring to know that, Steven Smith not only works for Ye, but he's also a friend. He's never turned his back, and he's still, working with the design team and at the helm of the next big innovation over at Yeezy. So it's also important to note a cool little key factor that I just wanted to mention to you guys. He mentioned that when the Yeezy 500 originally released, that majority of sales actually came from women, which is really cool because Yeezy is gender neutral. So everybody that's scared to wear those 450 slides, it's okay, because the 500s are actually kind of a women's shoe themselves. So that's a really cool fact there. Also, it's a cool thing to make note that Steven Smith mentioned that when he designed the Wave Runner, Kanye told him that this is actually the sneaker that he wanted to design over at New Balance when he originally started with them over 30 years ago. But because of the corporate, limitations, couldn't do so. And working with Yeezy, he was kind of just encouraged to do whatever he wanted to do. So I feel like those are just some cool notes. Again, if you guys want to check out the entire conversation, I'll have a link to the video and podcast with Kanye's post down below. But it's really exciting to know also that Steven Smith and Ye designed the Wave Runner in just 48 hours in the span of just one weekend. So that's really cool to know for the future of Yeezy, that literally they could just cook up a design that's innovative and influential, so much, and in just that short of a time. So it's a lot to be excited for about the future of Yeezy. And of course, as always, I will keep you guys updated with everything. So let me know your feedback. Let me know what you guys thought about this Yeezy post Adidas update, as well as all of the topics covered here today. We're gonna wrap things up. I'll catch you guys tomorrow for the latest edition of JA News. And in the meantime, make sure you guys stay safe, stay blessed, and I'm out, y'all. Love.